One of the new stars, the young superstar that we've had in Afrobeat, co-signed by Olamide, co-signed by Fireboy. And this is Ayo Maff. And after the success of his Mafian EP and the Dealer hit single, he's been on a how do I say it? He's been on a run of going to shows, performing on big stages, and releasing songs that people really love. And he's also how do I say it? He's also hope for upcoming artists that are not from privilege. And he's been on a run. And the young boy who is 19 is probably going to be 20 this July, I think. So after the Mafian EP, and he said, you know what, let me follow it up with an album. And he titled it Prince of the Streets. I don't know about the title. I don't know. You've not used, how long have you used on the street calling yourself? Anyway, so here's what I think about the album. I listened to the album and I have the first track on the album is called Beginning, and it featured I like the intro of the album. I like it. He's using this man, Naija Shimadun, that man that criticized him about the need for him to switch talking points on his songs, and he used him as a background and talking about humble beginning and the usual grass to grace story and the entire thing. I really like the song. I think it also like mirrored what Burna Boy did on his Spaceship album, where he used Osage Alunge at the beginning of the intro. But his own is very different because he was even singing after a while and the whole critic fade off. But for the Burna one, he left Osage throughout the entire 1 minute or 2 minutes of the intro. But then I like what Ayo Maff did on the beginning. It sounded like it's like a welcoming welcoming sound to say, okay, welcome to my world. This is what I have to say. I'm like, okay, Prince of the Streets, let's have it. And then there's another song that I like. I like Felony. Felony is like how do I say it? You know that insecure poor man that is writing a letter to his babe. It's like a letter to his babe telling babe, look, this is what it looks like. I'm not sure, but then, you know, those kind of songs where you relate based on misery. So, but it's a song I really like. It looked like a song that would have done well with Fola. Sounded like a Fola kind of song, and I think it's my favorite song on the album. I like the song so much, and I think I'll probably play it more times after recording this. I'll probably play it again. And I like Lazy Baby. Lazy Baby had a fun bounce. I like the beat. I like the way it sounded on it. It's a very catchy song. I really like it. And I like Bado's song. This Bado song, we probably just named it that because it's just like Yemi My Lover Part 2 by Olamide. I can't even call it a cover. This is not even sample or interpolation, anything. It's just Yemi My Lover Part 2, and Olamide features Ayo Maff. That's the way it sounds to me, because it's I really like the song, and I like the fact that at the end of the song he just did a shout out to Olamide, who seems like an inspiration to someone like Ayo Maff, because a lot of people from how do I say it, the Afro Adura niche, also Olamide is like their number one source of inspiration to say, you did it, now we are doing it. And also he got a co-sign from Olamide, which is a big deal. And I like the song. I like Olamide. I like the song. Now, these are the songs I like on the album. These are the songs I like on the album. The little things my reservations about the album is this. All through the album, aside from maybe choruses or hooks or whatever, it sounded the same on every verse on this album. You can take away the beats, take away the chorus, and just play each verse from each track. It's going to sound the same. It could just say the same thing on every song. The way it sounded, what he was saying, even though what he was saying sometimes changes, it felt like you are listening to a voice note of someone saying the same thing in a different way. That's just the way it looks like. It sounded like someone sent you a 20-minute voice note and switched up the flow a bit. That's one reservation I have for it. And I don't think he was ready to release an album. I'm not sure if he was ready to release an album. Maybe he just dropped it. Maybe some of these songs were just EP material to say, you know what, let me just drop another EP. But then someone advises him to say, just drop the album. Well, shout out to him for dropping the album, because it's not easy to drop an album now. I know the work it takes. People don't like sit down and understand how big of a deal it is to release an album, because you release an album, couple of songs, couple of tracks, you pay producers, you do PR, you have to like promote these songs, and the album in general. You have to do rollout or stuff like that, which is very, very difficult and very expensive. And I don't think he's ready for an album. I don't know. Maybe he should have released another EP, because like 13 songs, or I'm not sure how many, 13 or 15, 13 songs. And I could just say I have some songs, even though these are the 4 songs I listed, there are some songs I'm still like bouncing to and say, you know, I like the one with Chike, the Realness song, but there's just something off about that song for me. And the song is out as a single. Maybe the song even gets bigger, only time can tell. But in general, with the album, I just feel like maybe you could have dropped an EP and prepare properly for an album. But then I'm sure he will be fine. He'll be 20 this month, and he's still very, very young. He's going to get better as time goes on, and hopefully he reaches out to someone like Bado, and Bado has time to like help him out with maybe writing, direction, or maybe he should just be an executive producer or something on maybe Ayo Maff's next album, because I think the boy has a lot to give. Even though it sounds very the same sometime on some of these songs, it's still a listenable album. And I try to rate it over 10, and I don't want to be too harsh on him, so I'm giving it a 5 over 10. That's the best I can go, because you never can tell which song flies, and I've always said it on every time I do what I think about albums on the first listen. You don't even know which track would propel the rest to say, okay, you know what, we are catching on to this song maybe 1 year after. You know what, let's listen to the album again. And these songs are not bad. I mean, people did that with Davido's debut album, even though the album was not bad, but people just felt like this was not what we were expecting, right? So the boy is still very young, and I hope going forward he drops bigger songs, and even some of these songs maybe they grow bigger, and he'll be able to say he's the king of the streets, even though he probably intentionally called himself Prince of the Street, because Olamide will probably be the king of the street, right? And you can't call yourself the king of the street with just one EP. But I'm looking forward to his next project. Maybe it's another EP, or maybe it's another album, maybe it's just another single. Maybe then he will be able to say he's the prince of the streets. And here's what I think, and talk to you guys next time.